Have you ever noticed that when your bank account takes a hit, your confidence seems to go right down with it? It's a feeling so many of us know. So today, we're diving headfirst into what's called the net worth trap, and we're going to figure out how to finally separate your self-worth from your salary. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? Does the amount of money you make actually equal your value as a person? I mean, we're all taught to chase these big financial goals. And if we don't quite get there, that feeling of failure can be absolutely crushing. But is that number, that single number in your bank account, really the final say on who you are? You know, this is where we get it all twisted. We think we're just managing a budget or, looking at our investments. But what's really happening under the surface for most of us is that we're actually navigating a full-blown identity crisis. The stress we feel about money, it's usually just a symptom of a much deeper question. Am I enough? Am I valuable? So where in the world does this all come from? Why do we do this? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we have to go back, way back, all the way to our childhood, to something psychologists call our money blueprint. Now, there's actually a name for this blueprint. It's called a money script. The best way to think about it is like software that got installed in your brain when you were a little kid. It's this whole set of unconscious beliefs about what money is, what it means, and it just runs in the background, quietly dictating almost all of your financial decisions and feelings as a grown-up. Does any of this sound familiar? Hearing phrases like, "we can't afford that," over and over. That wasn't just a lesson in budgeting. It was teaching you about what's possible, about limits, about safety. Or maybe you heard things like, "rich people are greedy." That might have taught you to feel kind of guilty or conflicted about even wanting to be successful. And usually all those childhood phrases boil down to two really powerful scripts. First, you've got the scarcity script. This one creates that constant humming anxiety in the back of your mind that you're never going to have enough. It basically ties your sense of safety directly to your savings account. Then there's the achievement script, which is all about comparison. It ties your importance, your visibility, to how you stack up against everybody else. Your income literally becomes your report card for life. So think about it. When you get that unexpected bill in the mail and you feel that jolt of panic, it's almost never just about the money itself. You're stressed about what that bill implies about you, about your competence, your ability to handle things, and your status within your social circle, your tribe. And get this, there's a deep biological reason this all feels so intense. It's because it's wired directly into our most basic primal survival instincts. Let's dig into why our brains treat money like it's literally life or death. See, from an evolutionary standpoint, our brains are wired to crave three things more than anything else: safety, status, and belonging. And in our modern world, money has kind of become a stand-in for all three. It puts a roof over our head, that's safety. It can signal our skills and competence, that's status. And we often use it to show that we fit in with our friends, that's belonging. And this right here is the absolute core of it. When you feel broke, your primal brain doesn't just see a low number in an app. No, it translates that lack of money into a direct survival threat. It's screaming isolation and danger. That's why the shame around money can feel so incredibly deep and just visceral. Okay, so how do you actually know if you're caught in this trap? Let's do a quick diagnosis. Here are three super common red flags that your self-worth and your net worth are way too tangled up. Red flag number one is what I call productivity guilt. You know this feeling. It's that nagging voice in your head that says you don't deserve to rest or relax unless you are actively doing something to make money. That's the scarcity script in action, whispering that if you're not earning, you're not safe. Red flag number two, the comparison coma. Picture this. You're having a totally fine day, feeling good, and then you start scrolling through social media. All of a sudden, bam, you feel like a total failure. That is a classic symptom of the achievement script, where your self-worth just nosedives based on someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel. And the third red flag is the price tag personality. This is when you find yourself relying on expensive things. Maybe it's a fancy car, designer clothes, or always picking up the check for everyone, just to feel confident and secure in who you are. This is a mix of both scripts, needing to show off your status to feel seen and needing to prove you belong. Now, if any of those felt a little too real, please do not worry, because the good news is you can absolutely rewire this connection. It is not permanent. So let's shift gears from the problem to the solution. Here are three concrete, actionable steps you can start taking today. Okay, so here's the plan. First, we're going to audit that critical voice in your head. Then, we're going to reframe how you think about your professional value. And finally, I'm going to share a super simple weekly practice that will train your brain to see your worth in a whole new light. All right, let's start with auditing that voice. The very next time you feel that wave of financial shame or anxiety wash over you, I want you to just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself this one simple question. Is this my voice or is this my parents' voice? Just labeling it, just realizing that thought might be inherited, creates space. It takes its power away because you realize it's not even yours. It's just an old, outdated program. Step 2 is all about shifting your professional identity. So instead of defining yourself by a number, I'm a $50,000 a year person, try reframing it around your impact and your potential for growth. I'm a person who provides value by doing X, and I'm currently learning the skill of Y. You see the difference? Your income is a result of your value, not the definition of it. Okay, and step 3 is a simple but incredibly powerful exercise. Every Sunday, I want you to create a non-monetary win list. Just write down 3 things you did or accomplished that week that had absolutely nothing to do with your job or your finances. Did you help a friend move? Did you finish that book you've been meaning to read? Did you finally set a healthy boundary with someone? This actively trains your brain to find and validate your worth outside of a spreadsheet.
Now, these steps are really powerful tools, for sure, but they are all pointing toward a much deeper, much more fundamental truth about where our value really, truly comes from. Here it is. This might be the most important takeaway of all. Your value as a human being is intrinsic. It is constant. It was there the day you were born, and it will be there on your very last day. It doesn't go up when you get a promotion, and it doesn't go down when the stock market crashes. It simply is. And the wild part is, when you really start to believe that, when you internalize it, you actually get better with money. Why? Because you stop making financial decisions from a place of desperation, trying to buy things to prove you're good enough. And you start making them from a place of clarity, from a place of genuine, solid self-worth. Look, let's be crystal clear about this. Money is an important tool. It can buy comfort, it can buy security, it can buy opportunity, it can buy a lot of great things. But it has its limits. It will never, ever be able to buy you the feeling of enoughness. That feeling can only come from inside. So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. After everything we've talked about today, what is one money script that you inherited that you are now finally ready to hit delete on for good?